Topical and atypical. Unfiltered and independent. 100% authentic and intelligent.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's Monday, and it is time for Views from AmandaLand. It's Monday already. I don't know about y'all, but it just feels like Monday just be coming quick. Just be like, haha, bitch, we here. We here. Man, it really just feels like January 20th. It's coming quick. That's what it really feels like. And I am going to be I'm really happy to be joined by Malika Jabali next week, post inauguration, to talk about all of that. But good morning to everyone, and welcome to Views from AmandaLand. And it is today is January 13th, and it's 2025, and we have the new year has already started off in such a fashion that I can't even keep up. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like literally like I can't even keep up. It just feels like there's so much to wrap our heads around at all times. Is it me? It just feels like there's so much to wrap our heads around at all times. Like I can't keep up. But nonetheless, I'm trying my best. As usual, I always have to ask where everybody is watching from. So please let me know, where are you watching from? Let's do a little roll call. Where are you watching from? If you're watching from Instagram, come on over to YouTube, Amanda Seals TV. If you're looking at my hair like, damn, her hair looks like it's going through it. It's because it is, okay? Like, don't judge me. It's because it is. And I'm going to get my hair done this week. So leave me alone. Okay, so we got people watching from cold ass Chicago, Lafayette, Louisiana, Nashville. I heard it's cold ass Nashville right now. Philly all day, Atlanta, Stockholm, Sweden. Cool. Lakeland, Florida. Okay, shout out to Lakeland. España, Durban, South Africa. We have South Africa in the house. I like to pretend that I can speak Xhosa, but I feel like I can do that, but that's about it. We got Mijami. We have Corona, California, Southside Chicago, Governess Elite. We got upstate New York. So Anthony actually switched from IG. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. He switched from IG to come over here. Unicorn Born Productions, you evacuated LA and you're now in Dallas. Thank you for letting us know that so that we can wish you a safe route and safe harbor in Dallas. We got Newark, New Jersey Airport. Where you headed? Where are you flying out to? Hamid is coming at us from St. Louis. We got Memphis 10. Belinda Brooks is celebrating her birthday today. You know what that means. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Shooby-dooby-doo. Happy birthday. Shooby-dooby-da. Happy birthday. Yeah. Everybody wish Belinda a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Belinda. You made it another year on this rock. Ooh, child. God bless you. God bless you. We got Minnesota in the house. We got Detroit in the house. What up, though? We got any more internationals? We have Inglewood. Okay, Dan P hit her with the HBD. I cannot stand HBD, y'all. I'd be like, you don't got time to write out happy birthday. You got to give me initials for happy birthday? I done made it a whole other year around the sun, and you can't take the time to just write out happy birthday. Dang, it took me 365 days to get to here. You can't even give me 365 seconds to write out happy birthday. Shucks. Now, see, we got people over here on Instagram in London. People here on Instagram, come to YouTube. It's tagged right here. YouTube Amanda Seals TV. This is not where we're at. We're over here. Come over here. This is where it's about. Everybody leaving this app anyway. All right. So happy birthday, Belinda. And when y'all come over to YouTube, do like Homeboy did and tell us so that we can big you up for being, action oriented. City Baby 415. Yes. And when you come over, like the video. Yeah. Like the video. Do that. Do that. Someone said birthdays are becoming obsolete for many. I may not do a whole big shebang-a-langa, but I'm gonna make sure I acknowledge that I done made it another year. I'm gonna do that. Okay, big up to Jasmine Moorhead for being action-oriented. Make this picture as action-oriented. We have St. Martin, the Dutch Caribbean in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Look at all these people coming from Instagram, following instructions. Y'all know I love when instructions are followed because I will never lead you wrong. I will never lead you wrong. I'd be so frustrated with my mama when I be trying to give her instructions and she's fighting me on it. And I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. If you would just listen, this could be rectified so much quicker. What? Barbados! Bring me some flying fish now, man. And some Mount Gay rum. I'm not going to drink it, but I just wanted to say it because I know it. So look at all these people coming from IG. This is what I love. 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 Smart living is a great marker versus traditional, overindulgent, meaningless birthdays. You sound really fun at parties. Sometimes, let me just tell y'all real quick. Sometimes I feel like in your effort to not be caught up in the Matrix, you actually sound like the Matrix. Like trees have rings for every year that they exist. So like nature even acknowledges, I'm still here, niggas. I'm still here. You feel me? Like there is something to be said for the fact that life is tough. And just acknowledging that you on this planet made it an entire revolution with it matters. You made a whole way around the sun. That matters. You are on this planet that completed an entire orbit. And, astrologists believe that the other planets and their orbits matter. So I just think at the end of the day, take a day to have joy. And if the reason to have joy is to celebrate you, that to me, that's a great reason for joy. Okay. You don't got to do the whole, it's my birthday all month. We also don't have to do the whole, oh, I am non-functional today. Because I see that too. Grown people be like, it's my. I'm like, you're 46. Cut it out. Now, Mellie's taking it another level. She's celebrating her half birthday. And you know what? Do whatever makes you happy. Okay? Do whatever makes me happy. And we're going to close out this combo with Felicia right here. Felicia said, I used to look forward to my birthday with excitement for what's to come. And now I feel grateful for making it another year. Yep. That's what that is. Yeah. Proud of yourself for surviving. Let's give you another ding for that. All right. So let's do some quick church announcements. The Harriet Tubman pin is still available. Why is it still available, Amanda? You said it was only going to be available for a week. Well, it's been one hell of a week. So I said, you know what? Let me just leave these Johns up here real quick. Let me just leave them up here for real quick. and let y'all get at them. Let y'all get at them. Okay? Because it's been a week. It's been a week. Also want to remind you that here at Views from AmandaLand, there's a couple things that we always remember to do. One, remember to subscribe. Subscribe to my page. I'm seeing people with 26,000 views, and I'm over here like, Amanda, this is unacceptable. You need to get your weight up. You need to get your weight up. You need to get your weight up. So let's get it together. Also, remember to watch for at least 20 minutes. That helps the algorithm spread the show. Please replay the episode, because when you replay the episode, it also helps with the algorithm. And if you let the ads run, that also helps to support the show. And remember, the show is supported by viewers like you. If you appreciate anything I'm saying, please drop a chat. Please drop a seal in the chat. Add a super to show super support for this space. So let's give it up for the people who've already added supers. We've only been here for about 10 minutes. So shout out to Asmam, who gave us some Canadian money. Shout out to Stephanie Bradley Blue. That's a dope name. Love your energy and your truth telling. Thank you, Stephanie Bradley Blue. And shout out to Leo Moon Rising 33. All of these people have already shown love in the super chat form. So big ups to that. Also want to remind you that you can follow me on Patreon if you want some more exclusive content. Every Sunday, we do the Small Doses bonus episode, which is really a softer side of Seals. It is. We also have started the Passage Posse, which will start on Thursday, January 23rd. Thursday, January 23rd. Instead of a book club, we got to do a Passage Posse because your girl don't got time to read whole books. Okay, I don't got time to read whole books. So we do the Passage Posse, and we can read an entire passage together as well as discuss it. I will provide the passage ahead of time, etc. And then on that Saturday, the 25th, we're going to have Color and Vibe. Color and Vibe is when we literally do that. We color and vibe. I will provide the artwork for us to color. It'll be one of my pieces, and we'll get on Zoom and we'll color together and chat together and hang together. You see, a lot of folks poo-poo like the digital space, but the reality is a lot of folks don't find community and find like-minded people in their actual, where they actually physically live. So sometimes the digital space ends up being like the place where you're able to find that, even if you can't live in it. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody in the Seal Squad for joining us in that fashion. All right. Last but not least, we will a little bit later get into some Show Your Love, where you can drop some money in the Cash App, baby. But in the meantime, in between time, let's get started with our word of the day. Okay, our word of the day is isochronous. Isochronous is an adjective occurring at the same time or occupying equal time. That's the definition, and it is spelled I-S-O-C-H-R-O-N-U-S. Isochronous. Isochronous. Can anyone use isochronous in a sentence? I've got one. The Eaton fire and the Palisades fire were isochronous in their destruction, but not in their news coverage. Yeah. Isochronous. Isochronous. All right. Let's see. Anybody else got an example for isochronous? Anybody else got an example for isochronous? Erasmus says it's a Greek word. Yes, it is a Greek word. Isochronous. Anybody else? Here we go. Miriam says, my mental and physical health journey are isochronous. That is dope. And you need that to be the case. You need that to be the case. Side note, international deliveries, I still have not figured this out. I have not figured this out. So pardon me, because right now, international deliveries, they are... they're expensive, and I don't want them to be as expensive. So I'm working on it, MLA. I'm working on it, MLE. But thank you. All right. Someone said, the time it took to ask me is isochronous with the time you could have done the thing. This is how I feel about people who will be in the comments on Instagram and will be like, but what does this mean? And why does it? Google it. The same time that you took to write this, you could have Googled it. Felicia said, both events I've been invited to are isochronous, so I need to make a decision. Yep. These are really good ones. All right. And we're ending it with Althea, who says isochronous, wake and bake, while in her picture pregnant as hell. Oh my God. All right. So that is isochronous. That is the word isochronous, ISOCHRONUS, occurring at the same time or occupying equal time. Okay. Y'all did really good with isochronous. Good job, guys. Good job. And now it is time for us to get into the bonus question of the week.
Bonus question. Bonus question. Bonus question. Bonus question.
All right. So our bonus question of the week: what skill do you bring to your community? What skill do you bring to your community? Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because when we look at Hurricane Helene, we look at the LA fires, we see community having to take place in real time when it comes with the actual rebuilding of things. So when everybody sits down and says, okay, what is you going to do? What is you going to do? What is you going to do? What are you going to do? What is the skill that you bring to your community? And let me just tell you, when you really sit and think about it, you'll be like, I think I'm kind of useless. Like, okay, we got Pantera said grant writing and education. I'm not, girl, I'm talking about when the whole joint burned down and y'all meet up on the embers of the structure. What are you bringing? You bringing grant writing? Because when I really thought about it, I was like, I could rally the troops. I could sew a thing or two. I could do some basic first aid. But when I thought about it, it was like, yo, there's people who they have carpentry skills. They can build things, like they can cook. Like I can cook. I don't know. I can cook. But I just say all of that to say that ask yourself, what skill do you bring to your community? And you're going to be like, And I mean that in a very literal way around how you can rebuild your community. What skill do you bring? Maybe that's the real question. What skill do you bring to rebuilding your community? What skill do you bring to rebuilding your community? So you can go to viewsfromamandaland.com. Risha said, I can crochet hats. Hey, if you live in a cold climate, that's going to be a very useful tool. Christopher S. said medicine. Kristen said, I'm a registered nurse. These are real things, okay? Felicia said pattern recognition. Same. Miriam said, I'm good at gathering donations, plus size clothes. Okay. DJ Cat said, I know my way around doing some plumbing. That's real. Hello Figgy said, I give good hugs. Damn. This reminds me to follow up with my friend who volunteers to help with home repairs so I can keep learning to be useful. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need to go garden, y'all. I need to go help with the community garden because I need to learn. Like, I can do the basics, but I need to know a thing or two. Okay? I need to know a thing or two. So I want y'all to really think about it, and I want you to call, and I want you to check out the bonus question that we posted on. I don't know why I be saying we like it's anybody else helping me. The bonus question that I posted on Friday to YouTube. The question was, what kind of tree are you? The question was, what kind of tree are you? And I'll just give you an example of what one of the answers was. Let's see. Let me think.
If I were a tree, I would be an ackee tree. Ackee is the legendary national fruit of Jamaica, and it is high in nutritional value. It is also a known deterrent of malaria. And so it is a full protein, and it tastes like egg. And the interesting thing about ackee is that you can only eat it once it falls from the tree, the fruit. Once the fruit falls from the tree, you may eat it, and it has to be open on its own. However, if you try to pick the fruit and pry it open, the gases will come out and poison you. Or if you try to eat it before it's ready, before it opens itself, it will kill you. It is a very, very, very volatile poison. And so the reason I say I'm the ackee tree is that I only will bear fruit when I am ready to do so, and not a moment before. And if you try to get it before it's ready, me kill you, just like the ackee fruit, the ackee tree. Bye-bye. If I were a tree, I would be an ackee tree.
She said, me a kill you. Me a kill you. Just like the ackee tree. Me a kill you. Because I was waiting the whole time like, sis, why is you this tree? Why is you this tree? Me a kill you. Sarah said, game over. So I see a lot of y'all putting I am sweating like I don't even know the metaphor right now. A lot of y'all are putting your skills that you would bring to your community in the chat. And I love that, but I want to make sure that you call so that this bonus question can become a thing. So make sure that you go to viewsfromamandaland.com and scroll down and leave a message. Okay? And leave a message. All right. Are y'all ready to get into some Black Hero News?
Black Hero News. Politics. Black Hero News. Pop culture. Black Hero News. Sports. Black Hero News. Justice.
So here we are, and we are 1 week into the LA fires. And I have to be honest, I really didn't know where to really tackle this from because there's so many things involved with this situation. This week, tomorrow, we will have Nikki Hughes, who is the owner of Octavia's Bookshelf. She will be joining us. Octavia's Bookshelf is a Black-owned bookstore that is in Pasadena. She grew up in Altadena, which, as we know, is a Black neighborhood in California that was also affected by the fires, by the Eaton fire. The whole neighborhood basically got burnt down. The fire is still going, and she is going to be coming on to tell us about not only the work that they're doing, but also to give us some history about Altadena and the Black neighborhood and why it is such a loss in it being destroyed. So she's going to be joining us for that. Also on Wednesday, we're going to have Dr. Melina Abdullah, who was the running mate with, she was the vice presidential running mate with Cornel West, and she is also one of the people who runs Black Lives Matter grassroots movement in California, and she is going to be on to talk to us about the difference between the Black Lives Matter movements, because some people get it confused. And also she's going to be clearing up for us. She's going to clear that up for us. And she's also going to be putting us on to the work that's going to be done and the work that is being done right now for the displaced people of Altadena. So we got those boxes ticked. there's a couple things that I just want to address today about this whole situation. And I have to be honest, I'm a bit all over the place as it comes to these fires, because when it boils down to it, this was avoidable. This was avoidable, and people are like, well, how was it avoidable if there wasn't water in the reservoir? Because it's avoidable that there wasn't water in the reservoir. So, you know, when you start going back to just decisions that have been made that lead up to this, you start to really see how the one decision that's made 30 years ago exacerbates, and it really eventually is going to get to the people who seem to think that they are impervious. When we look at the coverage of the fires, the reality is that Altadena is a majority Black neighborhood that is also more blue collar, Jordy, more blue collar than the Palisades neighborhood. And I feel like what we're really being encouraged not to do is actually the thing we should be doing, which is looking at the politics of the LA fires. I want you to check out this clip with Maxine Waters, Representative Maxine Waters, with Chris Cuomo.
Are bad. They're on the watch of Democrats. Democrats should be to blame. Is that fair?
I would like to ask you and any other media individuals that may be listening, do everything that you can to get attention on Altadena. That whole area has just about been flattened, and we have working class people do not have a lot of resources. We all should have heavy hearts right now, but we should have faith, and we should be on point for making sure that we do everything to help the people that need us. Damn it, you can do the politics later. You can come and talk about Gavin Newsom later. You can talk about the Democrats later. I don't care who you talk about, but don't use up this precious time to do petty politics. Use the time to educate and to share information and to let people know where they can get some food, where they can get a place to stay, where they can get some clothing, on and on and on. That's where I am. I don't know where you are.
I'm right with you, Representative.
Now, I see a lot of y'all saying period and yes, Maxine, and, tell them. I'm going to offer a counter to that. Maxine Waters is a representative of the Democratic Party that is currently in power in California and Los Angeles. To say you can do politics later says to me that you don't feel like politics and the problem are isochronous, which they are. I think it really becomes frustrating for me that every time politics are addressed to politicians, it seems like they say this is not the time. When you are approaching politicians at dinner about the genocide, it's not the time. When you are in the gallery while they're voting, it's not the time. When is the time to address, hey, what did y'all do? Now, Sherry right here says, I don't think it's the time. This is a news program. This is a news program. And ultimately, they can do both. If they're going to be interviewed, if you're saying that this is not the time, what that says to me is that you don't feel like figuring out what the problem was and how it can be fixed is something to be done right now. And I don't agree with that. I think you can do both. I would have loved for her to say, in this situation, there were decisions that have been made that could have been, in this situation, there were decisions that were made that clearly, have exacerbated issues that we're still working on dealing with. And we will work on dealing with them. Like, what that says to me is, why are you talking about us? And I just think that every time we let politicians get away with not talking about how their political involvement and decision-making has affected the people, we are letting them off the hook. She could do both. In that time, she can do both. She can do both. She can say, this is, yes, the Democrats are in power, and we are going to do what we need to do to correct anything that has gone on. Please donate to blah, 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 blah. The idea that, I think what we have to understand is that politics are what is causing our lives to exist the way they exist. So when we say, this is not the time, we're actually ignoring the reality of what takes place, because the politics should be creating relief. There are already people in Altadena who have been told by FEMA that they're not going to get anything in relief funds. Okay? There's Gavin Newsom, who is saying that he's passing laws that are going to lower the threshold of permits, or like of what is needed for a permit, in order to rebuild. That's what got this situation happening in the first place. They should never have built in the Pacific Palisades. Never. They should never have built in the Pacific Palisades. So when we talk about, okay, Sadidi, you're wrong. Karen Bass doesn't have anything to do with Altadena. She has everything to do with the Pacific Palisades and the number of fires that are going on. The Hearst fire, yes, she does. She is the mayor of LA. Altadena is not in Los Angeles City. However, Altadena is in LA County. So no, she does not have jurisdiction over Altadena, but she absolutely has jurisdiction over all of the fires that have taken place in LA City. It took 3 days for her and the Democrats to address the people. 3 days? 3 days. The indigenous people have always said that certain areas burn. They always say that certain areas burn. So why are you building in places where they've said it burns without at least having, it did take 3 days, without at least having, she wasn't even here. What are you talking about? Yes, it did. How do you do this building without having some sort of protections? I'm going to take this moment, though, to say this. If you all are going to keep having a special protection for politicians simply because they're Black, you're going to keep getting the short end of the stick. You're going to keep getting the short end of the stick. There's no, this is just silly at this point. Yes, being Black, we have different experiences. We have a different experience in the workplace, etc. They know that when they get in there. They know that. But if you're not doing the thing, you don't just get a special pass because you're Black. I can't do it anymore. I can't. And that's not about her specifically. That's about Gavin Newsom. That's about all of these politicians. And then some of y'all will come on here and say things like, oh, so support MAGA and Trump. Get out of this binary thinking. Please, get out of the binary thinking. None of them are operating within a system that cares about you. It's like the police. There are police that are doing their best But the system is bigger than them. And instead of acting like any challenge of politicians who are Black, etc., is a challenge of their Blackness or their personhood, they are politicians. It is a challenge of their job. They're an elected official. Every single day, somebody tells me that I am the reason Kamala Harris is not president. Every single day, someone says I was attacking Kamala Harris. I was accusing Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is an elected official. She has literally been an elected official for the duration of her career. Her job is to serve the electorate. No, her job is to serve the constituency. She serves the electorate. So stop. Unless we, as the people, get ourselves together, literally get us together, we will never get them together. Ever. Stop fighting for a gang you're not in. You're not in the Democrats. You're not in the Republicans. You signed up. You signed up. You feel like you're down. Maybe they sent you a shirt. But baby, you're not in, okay? These are not gangs. These are political parties. And you feel like something when you work with them. I get that. And we as humans, we don't want to be used, but we want to be useful. And I get it. But what this nation has effectively done is tricked you into thinking that working for bodies of government that continue to ignore you is you being useful, when you're really supporting them being useless. So, when we talk about the politics of the LA fires, it is important. It is important to say, where does the responsibility lie right here on the Democrats who are in power? And you, if you're a politician, I feel like you could spin that. You could say the responsibility lies on us to make sure that our constituency is going to be cared for in these ways. And then you name the ways. But you don't scold the host for asking you about your job. And y'all excuse that because she's an elder Black woman. That's why you excuse it. Because you're like, she's an elder. She's 80 something and she's putting him in his place. She's putting this white man in his place. And I'm sorry, I don't agree. No, I have never thought of running for office. Do you hear what I'm talking about? Why would I run for office after what I just said? Do y'all be listening to me? Why would I run for office? My girl Miriam said, I now see my implicit bias. When I tell y'all, it is one of my greatest achievements in life to effectively state my point in a way that makes folks be like, now, hold on now. That is one of my favorite, like, literal gifts. Because the optics, I get it. But the reality, no. And she, in my opinion, should not even still be in office anyway. She's done her service. She should be resting. She should be resting. Reese, don't even get me started on Obama and Trump laughing and chuckling. Because we were talking about the LA fires. And I'm going to do, I think I'll do it on my Patreon. Because y'all have allowed these people to turn politicians into celebrities. Yep. And that is incredibly deleterious. Incredibly deleterious. Now, Britt, don't get disrespectful now. Don't get disrespectful. So, while we're talking about the LA fires, there is a, hold on, let me remove this graphic. Why is this so small? You can support the LA fires. You know what? I don't know why. So, For Your Viewing Pleasure has a shirt for sale. Support Black families. The front of the shirt says, I love LA. And all of the money is going to go to the Black families that are adversely affected by the fire. So that is something. I know a lot of people are asking, where can I donate? Where can I donate? So you can follow For Your Viewing Pleasure on Instagram. Go check them out and support. They also have just a lot of cool stuff in general. They always have cool stuff. So there's that. Y'all got me hot and under the collar, baby. Y'all got me hot under the collar. Let's go. Let's see what some of y'all have to say. Okay. Alberto Mejia. Amanda, one of the things that got to me about the third-party people is how late they jumped in the game. Seemed symbolic at best. Is 4 years enough to rally a people-based alternative to the Dems? So I think the thing about the third-party people is it's not just that there's one third party. Like, there are many other parties that are working to like continue to build, but there are also incredible efforts done by the Democrats and the Republicans to sequester them from having growth. And that's just the reality of the situation. I think even in the consideration of it being symbolic, it might be symbolic, but this symbolism is valuable because for a lot of people, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that in this election, this is the first time that more people knew about there even being third party options than ever in my timeline. Like, I don't feel like people really ever thought about it in the way or considered it as present as they did this time. Jill Scott, you know, she resurfaces and people have issues with the Green Party, and I get it. But my main issue is that we have a government that is non-functional in the way that government is supposed to function. Ideally, the thought process is that government is supposed to create systems that allow for its constituencies to exist at their best capabilities. The access should be equal. Everybody is not going to do the best. Everybody's version of the best is not the same, but the access should be equal. Okay. And that's really that. So you have a lot of people who are thinking that these fires may be planned, you know, that they may be a part of a dubious effort. You have other people who are feeling like this is a confluence of both natural disasters happening as well as failures in government. Then, of course, we have climate change, which is at the root of all of this. It's at the root of all of this. So we even have young people that are on the lines that are firefighting who are actually incarcerated. I'm going to show you some videos from those people over the week. But the last thing I just want to say so far about these LA fires is please do not be one of these people that is telling folks, oh, you know, it's just things. So for some of us, our things are like really attached to us. Like, we're really attached to our things. They ground us. They help us feel safe. And it's not considered stuff. Like, some people, like my homegirl Kesh, she calls herself a masculine. She's like, I'm a maximalist alien princess. She's like, I'm a maximalist alien princess, and 90% of my things are in a storage unit that is like an hour, that is like, she said something like 10 minutes away from the fires. And if you're an artist, let me tell you something. If the fire happened right now, I'm leaving the house with my pets. I'm leaving the house with my passport. I'm leaving the house with my paintings. We're all different. We're all different, but I want us to really work on not being toxically positive. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So we'll be talking about LA all week, of course. I mean, I'm still looking at my house over there in LA like, you okay, boo? You all right? Because my house still hasn't sold. It's going to sell now. So there's that. Can we just let me just take a brain break. Let me just take a brain break real quick. Okay. Just had to do a quick brain break, y'all. Just had to do a quick brain break. You know, I'd be sitting up here and my brain be like, I have to just let my nervous system regulate. Okay. I just have to let my nervous system regulate. And we are regulated just in time to get into this next segment. So, evil villain Mark Zuckerberg just did a video where he decided that he was going to announce that IG, all the Meta, aside from, Meta, so Facebook, IG, is going to follow in the footsteps of X. And there will no longer be fact checking. And they're going to integrate community notes. Now, he did a video about this, and I know, yes, Volderberg. Now, I know y'all don't got a lot of time. So he did this video, and I said, let me help them by making sense of the flim-flam that he's spitting in this video. So I am here to translate Zuckerberg. Let's begin. When I bring the video up. Okay. So I took all the time to make this video, and then I did not load it, but it's going to be here any second. So are you guys leaving Instagram? I'm seeing people talking about that they're leaving Instagram, that everyone said they're leaving on the inauguration day, and they're leaving on the day, they're leaving Instagram and TikTok on inauguration day. Is that something that people are doing? I'm curious because I feel like it is something that people are, aspiring to, but they're saying people are organizing around this, and I just haven't really seen that in a real way. But I'm curious if you guys have seen it. So Kevin says, trying to, but too many local businesses depend on it. Yep, exactly. Patricia said, not leaving IG, but deactivated Facebook over a year ago. People, no, they weren't saying they're leaving TikTok. They're saying they're leaving Facebook and Instagram the day that TikTok is banned, which is the 19th. We got Erica say, I left Facebook a long time ago. What y'all doing? People said they're migrating to Red Note. Red Note is actually the Chinese version of TikTok, because they're accusing TikTok of being Chinese when TikTok is made by a man from Singapore and it's in Singapore. So folks are saying it would be funny to actually migrate to Red Note, which actually is Chinese. All right, well, let's see what Mark Zuckerberg has to say. And I have painstakingly taken the time to break this down for you all, because I know you all don't got the time.
Talk about something important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so that means AKA we're going to make the hate great again.
So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
Okay, so that means we can't seem to build a system that knows which particular white nationalists and white supremacists should go unchecked and which ones are doing too much. That's really the problem.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
Now that these psychos are in office, we can go back, to letting everybody get off on this platform. And that means more ads to sell.
Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
What he's really saying is that the fact checkers have been too committed to the facts. And that makes it difficult to persuade and manipulate people to support policy and politicians that harm them. That's what he means.
And get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be...
If you haven't noted, let me run that back real quick for y'all.
And get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
If you haven't noticed, we've already removed those pesky trans and gay chat wallpapers. And now you can go right on ahead and call trans people mentally ill. Or if you hate blacks, you can say, get those blacks out of there. If you hate Mexicans, you can say, you hate them too. Buddhists, move them around. No need to hide it any longer. Let that bigotry banner wave.
What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far.
See, we were trying to make this metaverse a more kind version of the actual universe, but like the United States after Reconstruction, we just don't have the energy to try to be decent. It's just too much. I mean, you understand, right?
We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations.
Oh, you thought we were going to let you have free speech to support Palestine? No, we're just waiting for that bill to get through Congress that makes speaking against Israel's policies against the law. Because we're about free speech, but not if it's used fighting for others' freedom.
We're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again.
AKA the community is our nickname for politicians and corporations who don't want to be bothered with hearing about how terrible they are. So we said, oh, good, we got you. But now we're letting all the terrible people do their thing. So it's all good. Carry on.
We're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams.
As we dedicate ourselves to literally letting anybody with Wi-Fi say whatever they want, because we know that toxicity fuels engagement and engagement makes dollars, we think it makes sense to do this in a place that, like us, actively ignores the needs and wants of its citizens in favor of lining their own pockets.
We're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more.
Not only are we going to let dirtbag Americans have free reign, we want all the dirtbags all over the dirtbag world to be able to get their dirtbag rocks off.
Now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it.
Democrats wanted us to do what they said, but didn't give us tax cuts. Republicans, however, is like, we're going to give you that, so give us this. And we're fine with that.
There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. I'm looking forward.
And by illegal stuff, we mean anything that encourages Americans to think, to rise, and to, dare I say, empathize.
Forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
I look forward to making more money. Stay toxic out there. I look forward to making even more money. Soon. And that, my friends, is translating Zuckerberg. How do you feel? I'm pretty proud of that segment. Pretty proud of it. I'm proud of my edit. I'm proud of it. Okay. So that's what's going on. So we broke it down to the bone bristle. That's what's going down. Okay. That's what's going down. I just want to give y'all a heads up. I still have a good 30 minutes left of material here. So if you was planning on getting out of here at 11 a.m., we not. We still here. We in the mix. And you know what? It's time to show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Let me hear you say, hit me in the Cash App, baby. Follow me on Patreon, baby. Subscribe. Be a part of the seal squad. Look, there's a seal right there. My name's Amanda, and I do this show for free. Yeah. I do this show for free, yeah. But because I love the people, yeah. And information. That's why we do the show. Because I love the people and sharing information. So shout out to everybody who is joining us. We've got 758 folks watching, which is a new record. Yay! That means we should have way more likes. We should have supers over here. We should have way more subscribers. My goal is that we have 200,000 subscribers by, let's say April 1st. Right now we're at 153,000, I think. Can we get more? Can we get there? This is Views from AmandaLand. It's your news and truths by any joke necessary. And I thank all of you all who are joining us for waking up on the right side of history. Thank you for waking up on the right side of history. All right, let's get into our 60-second headlines. How about it? 60-second headline. Gonna run down some news right quick.
Run it down, mama. Put us on.
I really be in here just having a blast. 60-second headlines. Gonna run down some news right quick. Like, this episode needs to have 10,000 views. By Monday, this episode needs to have 10,000 views. Yeah. I love when y'all hear my stupidness. Look at his lip. I would hang out with y'all. Patricia, I would hang out with you because Patricia always got jokes and she always gets the jokes. Look at his split. Someone asked about my mug. I'm sorry, I did not show y'all my mug. My mug is this little dog. I decided that my mug is going to match my outfit. That's what I'm going to do. That's like, so I don't know if it's the autism or if it's just me, but I really need like templates. And so that's what I decided. That's my mug. This is my mug, and that's what it's going to be. So, okay. 60-second headlines. Let's get into it. All right. We got some good news, y'all. Oh my God. We got some good news. One Heartland, a Willow River, Minnesota camp for children with HIV and AIDS is now for sale because the rate of HIV/AIDS infections among children in the U.S. has dropped so much that the camp is no longer needed. Yeah, the camp is no longer needed. So basically, the nonprofit, which has served HIV positive youth for over 30 years, is now looking for another group to take over, one that will cater to LGBTQ youth and LGBTQ plus youth and those with other chronic conditions like diabetes. The founder of One Heartland, Neil Wilkinson, described the camp's closure as the greatest story that I ever could have imagined. In the United States, the perinatal HIV transmission rate, does anyone know what perinatal means? Can anyone tell me what perinatal means? Can anyone tell me what perinatal means? What does perinatal mean? Can anyone tell me what perinatal means? The perinatal HIV transmission rate is now less than 1% thanks to antiretroviral medications, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Perinatal, yes, Kristen, it means when pregnant. Oh my God, I'm trying to add it to the screen. It's not letting me. It means when pregnant. Yes, perinatal. Perinatal, around pregnancy, during pregnancy. During pregnancy. So basically, perinatal means the rate of a mother passing the virus onto the child through pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding. So it's not just pregnancy. That's why it's peri, before, during, or after. All right? Before, during, or after pregnancy. Thank you, Yvonne, for getting us together. Yes, it is not simply just while carrying the child because, of course, the HIV/AIDS virus can be passed through bodily fluids. So those are present during birth as well as breastfeeding. Okay? The World Health Organization says that globally, new HIV infections among children up to age 14 have declined by 38% since 2015, and AIDS-related deaths have fallen by 43%. So this is really finally some good news. Some good news. And you know what? I got more good news. Yay! I got more good news because I felt like we've had such a ridiculously terrible time. And if you can find good news to report, then I'm going to find it. Okay. If I can find good news to report, I'm going to find it. So Sarah Hassan, who is known as BS on Blast on Instagram, she has committed herself since 2011 to updating folks via Instagram every single day about what is going on in Sudan in regards to the war. And she actually just recorded an episode of Small Doses Podcast to give y'all a 101 on Sudan. I know a lot of people love to be like, you're talking about Palestine, but you're not talking about Sudan. Well, a lot of y'all just saying that as a straw man, and you really don't know shit about Sudan. So actually, she shared some really good news. Here we go.
Coming to you for once with some very good news. After 14 months under RSF control, the city of Medani in Yazida State has finally been recaptured by the Sudanese military. This is huge. For one, because Medani is the capital of Yazida State and one of the major cities in Sudan, but also because over the last 14 months, the people of Medani and Yazida State at large have been living unspeakable horrors under RSF control. And if you needed any indication of the amount of terror and destruction that the RSF has caused, just take a look at Sudanese people's reactions today to the news of the liberation of Medani.
know about y'all, but I got chills. It's earlier in the show we talked about birthdays and how, someone was saying that birthdays are just kind of pointless and we just really don't need to honor them or whatever. And I do think there's a certain level of privilege around that, because if you've been under siege, if you have been witness and been the bearer of unspeakable horrors, I feel like your birthday, surviving literally another year, must seem just kind of like a huge deal. And when we're watching these people are celebrating, like, I think Americans think of war like battles and winning. No, like these people are celebrating like we may have a chance to exist. We may have a chance to exist. Not even just exist in happiness. We may have a chance to exist. Because these people have been trying to like literally take us all the way out. The RSF has been trying to take us all the way out. We may have a shot at existing. And I loved seeing the people that were in all other parts of the country, as well as celebrating in Qatar, in Qatar. And so, I showed these types of videos because, yes, I, authentically speak from a Black lens, but always with a global perspective. Because this is a whole planet that we're on. This is a whole planet that we're on. I know that we're in different countries, but these lines were drawn. You know what I'm saying? Humans used to be nomadic. Like, we used to be walking all over the place. Like, yeah, Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, like everybody was just walking all over the place. So I really wanted to just show y'all that. And I love seeing the Sudanese flags that y'all were posting. Remember, you can follow BS on Blast on Instagram. She gives updates and knowledge and information about Sudan on a regular basis. And, we do need to keep ourselves abreast of news outside of the United dang States. We have been hearing about these fires all week long. Baby, there's fires going on in South America and in Africa right now. Huge fires. Huge fires going on. We got firefighters that came up from Mexico, and we got firefighters that came down from Canada, because Canada be having the fire thing happening as well too. Remember, there was a huge fires in Alberta, Canada. Think about Australia. Australia be having crazy fires, crazy. So we got to remember, it's the whole world we're here. That's a whole world we're in. And speaking of that, that is a great segue for me to get to our next story. I'm going to be talking about Bad Bunny's new album after this. So if you're curious about why Bad Bunny was on the the graphic, I'll be talking about Bad Bunny's album after this. But first, I got to let y'all know about Cuba. Viva la Cuba! Cuba has joined BRICS. BRICS is an intergovernmental organization. I want y'all to pay real close attention to what I'm reading here. Okay? BRICS is an intergovernmental organization that aims to increase economic and geopolitical coordination among its member countries. It's named for its founding countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and also includes the UAE, Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, Belarus, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Thailand, Uganda, Malaysia, and Uzbekistan. It has now added Cuba and Bolivia as partners with the aim of strengthening economic and political cooperation and the integration of countries from the global south. So for Cuba joining BRICS, this is a big deal. This is a big deal because, Cuba has been so hampered by the sanctions that America has put on it. And this gives them an opportunity to get around those sanctions to finally get the resources needed to improve the quality of life for the people on this island. For Bolivia, they see it as an opportunity to expand its economic horizons. They also want to be able to be more a part of technological growth and industry. Now, the goal of BRICS in general aims to create a geopolitical bloc that can counterbalance. Does anyone know what? Someone define geopolitical for me. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Someone define geopolitical. I want to make sure that we are on the same page about what geopolitical means. Please define geopolitical. The goal of BRICS aims to create a geopolitical bloc that can counterbalance the influence of Western-dominated institutions like the World Bank and the IMF. So this sounds all good and dandy, but their goal is to topple the US dollar. That's their goal. All right. Rolando says geopolitical is politics where it relates to national borders. We'll take that. Fatima Islam said, and she quoted, relating to politics, especially international relations, as influenced by geographical factors. I like Luna Bear. Shout out to Orlando. She said politics on the global scale. Yes. So it's global geographical politics. So this brings us all the way back to what we said earlier when Maxine Waters was saying, we don't need to talk about politics. It's always ever present. Politics is ever present, not just in the things that we're discussing, but in the world. Geopolitical. They are talking about how they are aligning their political interests, regardless of their nation states. This is how I need to stop saying that word. This is how things get dismantled because other folks team up. Okay. So those are your 60-second headlines, y'all. And I was really happy to be able to share 2 good stories and 2 pieces of good news. And we are about to get into For the Record, where I'm going to talk about Bad Bunny's new album. But first,
Woman. Shank Show.
Yeah. Hold on.
What y'all niggas watching? Topper Shanks.
Topra's Tings.
It's 2025. The year has now begun. And Harriet is back in a pin holding a gun.
Ooh, she did that. That's cute.
You're excited. I'm excited. It is I, Topper Shanks, here to inform you that your wishes have been granted. The Harriet Pistol Pin is back in the AmandaLand export store for a limited time. How much time? A limited amount. That much. If you missed out on the first batch, well, now you don't have to feel left out. Get you a Harriet Pistol Pin from the AmandaLand export store. She will be doing a drop every month for you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Yes! Topra, can I get a pin? You have to ask yourself, if Harriet Tubman came back, would she pull out a pistol on you? Oh! There's your answer. Pop, pop. A Harriet Tubman pistol pin. Look at the detail. So come on over.
Topper Shanks.
So get your Harriet Tubman pistol pins, y'all. Get your Harriet Tubman pistol pins. And Renee said you want a variety show on TV. I mean, is TV even a thing? Really? At this point, is TV even a thing? Let's get into this segment. And my name is spelled S-E-A-L-E-S, y'all. S-E-A-L-E-S. Let's get into this segment. I'm very excited to talk about Bad Bunny's new album. I'm very, very excited. Okay. So, for the record, I have never paid attention to Bad Bunny. Okay. I have never paid attention to Bad Bunny. You know, I basically I like salsa, and it's like he don't do that. But he was with me on the NBA All-Star team in 2018. He was with me. But he just put out a new album called Debí tirar más fotos. Debí tirar más fotos, which means I should have taken more pictures. And he is now an international superstar. He's doing all the things international superstars do. Bad Bunny has dated a Kardashian. He has attended the Met Ball. He sits courtside at basketball games. So this is usually when a lot of people start getting really shook ones about maintaining the position that they have achieved. And I want to shout out Bad Bunny. And the reason why the banner says Bad Bunny is good people's is because he chose this to be the perfect time to get revolutionary in his music. And that is actually how it should work. It's when you have created a strong foothold that you say, and now we about to turn up. I will never forget when I met Ossie Davis and he said to me, Amanda, never stick your neck out deeper than your feet are rooted in the people. And baby, Bad Bunny, his feet are rooted, okay? His feet are rooted. And you're right, he does need a sex tape to be at the top level, or at least a leak, but nonetheless, he's already doing what he needs to do. This album is a dense, it's deeply personal. It's a rallying cry to not just Puerto Ricanos, but like to colonized folks. And when you're getting the rallying cry from someone who looks like that, honey child, rally on, okay? Puerto Rico is a United States colony. And I think a lot of people really don't seem to understand this. Puerto Rico is a colonized country. They are not able to vote in elections, but yet they are used by America for many things that are 100% not helpful for the people, including testing bombs. And it's really crazy to see how America casually goes to these other places. I'm going to speak about myself real quick. So I was considering buying land in Belize, and I went to Belize and I was literally at the airport waiting for the realtor to come meet me. And there was a young lady who was standing there, and she said to me, I don't know what I started talking to her, and she asked me like, oh, am I here on vacation? I said, oh, I'm here to look at land. And she just kind of like made a face. And I was like, what's up? And she was like, well, you know, the land has gotten to a point where Belizeans can't even afford it because Americans pull up and they buy it. And I had said on one of my videos recently that we are colonizers, and people were like, no, Black Americans aren't colonizers. We're just here. No. If you act like a colonizer, you are a colonizer. Because what most people do because of America is we just go places and we bring our Americanness there. Versus if you're going to go there, at the very least, you need to immerse. You need to exercise responsibility. Like I realized in that moment, if I was going to move here, I had to change my whole thinking. I can't be coming here to escape America. I need to be coming here to be Belizean. Like that's what I would need to be doing. And so my whole thinking changed. I mean, I had already made it my business to make sure that I had a Belizean realtor. But as I continued to do the search for the land, I realized I can't move here. Furthermore, I don't want to move here because the white people have already planted their roots so deep that it is uprooting the Belizean culture in Placencia, where I was. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be any parts of that. And I have my own reasons for not going to Grenada, which I talk about in my book, which will come out in this fall. But I realized in that moment, you actually have a home that you have like claim to. That's where you need to take your butt. You need to go there. And I'm seeing folks that are there. I'm seeing land being built in, you know, homes being built in Ghana, etc. And I want to just say to all the Americans that are looking at other places to go to get out of here, as you should, go there with the mindset of immersion, not of escape. or else you are no different than a colonizer or a gentrifier, no matter the color of your skin. Even if you're going there to seek refuge, even if you're going there with the mindset of asylum, with the mindset of a refugee, you still are going there to get away from here, but you're going there with privilege. At this point in time, you're going there with privilege. And so you need to show up with that mindset.
The town of Quebradillas. And like a lot of other places in Puerto Rico, it has beautiful views. But it was sort of a hidden gem, a small and lesser known town by non-Puerto Ricans. But some locals say that's changing.
Vienen esta gente de otros países americanos y ven todo esto y enseguida lo que le viene es dollar signs, como dice, dollar signs en la mente. I'm packing here, this is the next place I'm packing.
Now some Puerto Ricans are having to pack their bags and move out.
Nos están sacando de nuestro lugar. Cuando abramos nuestros ojos no vamos a tener isla y vamos a ser un Puerto Rico sin puertorriqueños.
And as more Puerto Ricans are feeling displaced, tensions are rising.
O sea, si tú eres un colonizador, porque eso es lo que está pasando, están comprando nuestras tierras, están comprando nuestras casas, que se vayan. Punto. O sea, es que no. Uno, que no venga. Dos, que te vaya.
So please go check that out. Bianca Clalao is actually of my podcast, Small Doses, as well. And on his album, Bad Bunny has a song called Lo que le pasó Hawaii. And it's really striking a chord with people worldwide as he speaks directly to not wanting to see Puerto Rico go the fate of Hawaii, which was overtaken violently, right? And here's a breakdown of the lyrics by a TikToker, and I thought this was really dope.
Let's get into these lyrics. This was a dream I had. She looks beautiful, even when things sometimes go wrong. In her eyes, a smile holds back her tears. The foam of her shores looks like champagne. It's alcohol for her wounds, dancing away the sadness. It's alcohol for her wounds because there's so much to heal. Deep in the green mountains, you can't even breathe. The clouds are closer. You can talk to God. You hear the jibaro crying, another one who's left. Jibaro is a Puerto Rican term for like guajiro, which is like for Cubans. Guajiro is like a person who's from the country who works with the land. So jibaro is like someone, again, really connected to the land. And that's beautiful because a big tenet of like Native Hawaiian culture is that it's like stewardship to the land. There's so much intertwining with the cultures. He didn't want to go to Orlando, but the corrupt ones pushed him out, and no one knows for how long. They want to take my river and my beach too. They want my neighborhood and grandma to leave. No, don't let go of the flag, nor forget the lelolai. So lelolai is like lelolai, like in songs, like in folklore songs and the rural songs, and it's kind of like saying like the folklore, the culture, the music of it, like the soul of the place. So in Hawaiian, it would be like the kuleana or mo'olelo, I don't know, like, you know, kind of like the thing of like the spirit of aloha. Because I don't want them to do to you what they did to Hawaii. Be careful, Luis, be careful. No one here wanted to leave, and those who left dream of coming back. If one day it's my turn, it's gonna hurt so much. Another Hibara fighting, one who wouldn't give up. She didn't want to leave either, and she stayed on the island, and no one knows for how long. They want to take my river and my beach too. They want my neighborhood and your kids to leave. No, don't let go of the flag, nor forget the lelolai, because I don't want them to do to you what they did to Hawaii. No, don't let...
That's deep. That's deep. I can't play the music here because, of course, you know, there's rules on YouTube, but make it your business. You know, this is the type of art and work I feel like we support. And it's not to say that he doesn't have fun music on the album as well, but it's so important to use your canvas in this way. And then you see all these folks from other countries that are posting it. Folks from Mexico and Venezuela, folks from El Salvador and Colombia, like they're all seeing this as well and saying like, yeah, like we feel the same way. We feel the same way. And it really shows you just the power of music to be a unifying force. And when we talk about geopolitical politics and we talk about the connectivity of everything, that's not made up. Like there really is a root system that is connecting all of us, even if it's just basics on the fact that like we're all looking at the same sun. We're all looking at the same moon. I mean, that was the whole premise of somewhere Out there beneath the doo-doo-doo. Like they're talking about, like, you're where you are, I'm where I am, and we're both out there. We're both wishing on the same star. So shout out to Bad Bunny for putting together this incredible project. And go out there, or you don't have to go anywhere because we live in 2025 and you can literally just download it. But get you debí tirar más fotos. Debí tirar más fotos. So someone said, I don't understand him having, you don't need to understand it. You don't need to understand it. Like people like grow and learn all the time. He's still a young person, but he got there. He don't date her no more. It doesn't matter. He got there. Sheesh. The judgment. Y'all would look at me crazy. Like, how does she have those values, but she's dated drug dealers? It's different. Like, things is not always so cut and dry. Look at Tupac. Tupac was the king of contradictions. It doesn't matter, though. At the end of the day, he would be saying stuff that was super duper duper real while also having a picture with his head in Madonna's. Exactly. So please, like, please. Just, you know, because there's certain contradictions. Like, you can't be out there with Charlie Kirk and then doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. But it's like, you with a pretty girl? You with a pretty girl? That, come on. We acting like people don't do that all the time. Come on, man. So, anywho, shout out to Bad Bunny. If you're just joining us, you missed me talking about Mark Zuckerberg. You missed us talking about the LA fires and why politics is actually important. You also missed me talking about good news in Sudan. If you haven't checked out this week's Small Doses episode, Side Effects of Accountability, please do so. I'm very proud of this episode, particularly the part where I break down the 3 A's: apology, accountability, action. Because a lot of people really feel like accountability is just saying, oh, yeah, I did that. No, you need to apologize. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Then sorry, it's accountability, apology, action. You need to say, like, oh, I did that. Then they're like, my bad. This is what I'm going to do to prevent it or to fix it, etc. And people be feeling some type of way that I expect that from people. But baby, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And Miss Latia is correct. Yes, we all did. And then you're going to have to replay, Renee Luna. Correct. You're going to have to replay. So just to remind everybody, if you haven't given a super, it is time to do so. Give a super. If you haven't said like, it is time to say like. If you haven't done any of your, I'm ahead of myself. I'm ahead of myself. Let me get into my PSA. PSA. So when it came to talking about the LA fires, I have to admit, I wasn't really sure where to plant my feet. And some of you might be like, what do you mean? Just plant your feet in humanity and that humanity is being harmed. And I have like there's just so many layers because I really have like a very, thank you, Jordy. I really have a very strained relationship with Los Angeles. I also have a very strained relationship with the amount of Zionists that are living in Los Angeles and really just exuding harm. And then on the other hand, I'm just like, I'm always trying to think of like, how do we shine a light on the folks that don't get a light shown on them? Whether it's the houseless people, whether it's the disabled people, because that oftentimes is who is forgotten, like in a very real way. And then it was brought to my attention that Altadena was just not only being ignored in the news, but that Altadena was also actively, people were already actively being rejected from receiving any type of funding or support. And that is incredibly scary to me. Like, I think it's really problematic that you have people who are in the same city, not even just the same state, same city, that are suffering the same fate as this other group, and they're being ignored because they don't have the same clickbait effect as saying this famous person's house burned down or that famous person's house burned down. And this is such a reflection of the actual dearth of morality in this nation. It's also a reflection of the dearth of intelligence in this nation and principles. That it needs to have celebrity attached to it to mean something to you. It's silly. And so that became my focus. Like, okay, I got to take up the mantle with Altadena. And the truth of the matter is, I am a Black woman. You agree. I am a Black woman. I'm always going to be drawn to our cause for Black people. And hold on. Can you please, you see me being serious. I'm trying to talk to these people. Come here. Jordy, come here. I mean, it's just so disrespectful. I'm always going to speak on our behalf, or I can't speak for all Black people, but speak on, in support of us. And someone said to me yesterday, we need to redefine what Black community is. And the reality is that whether we like certain people or not, if they Black, they're in the Black community. I don't like Black conservatives and their value system. I feel like is completely non-existent. They are still a member of the Black community. It's just what it is. It's the reality of things. There's Black colonizers. There are Black culturalists. There's Black capitalists. And so you find what community in the Black community that you are in. But ultimately, I know that I'm always going to be planted here. And so Altadena absolutely was going to be where my energy was pulled to. So please, let's work on bringing amplification to Altadena. GoFundMe campaigns for displaced Black folks from the LA fires in the historically Black neighborhood of Altadena can be found at bit.ly/rebuildad. That's bit.ly/rebuildad. There is an entire database there of all the GoFundMe campaigns. Even if you give $1 to each campaign, I mean, you've given. And even if you can't give, share the actual link like I'm doing right here. All right. Also, you can go to for your viewing pleasure and support by getting an I Love LA shirt. All donations are going to Black families. All donations are going to Black families that have been displaced in Altadena and Pasadena due to the fires. And that right there is my public seals announcement. PSA. All right, trap stars and trap starettes, that's the end of the show. That's the end of the show. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Nikki Hughes of Octavia's Bookshelf, which is located in Altadena. So make sure you're with us, 10 a.m. Remember, we do this Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. Please replay the episode. Please subscribe. And let's shout out our supers, all the people who donated today. Big ups to Asman. Stephanie Bradley said, love your energy and truth telling. We also had Monica King. Okay, so you think they're corrupt. So you think you're corrupt too? I'm not sure what that meant, but all right. Okay, so no, that was her again, but she still gave $2. So brain break, cash out time. Thank you, Ashley M. Crystal Imani, thank you for the brain breaks. Oh, you know what? I think she was talking about the politicians. No, I don't think I'm corrupt. I just don't want to sit here and spin my wheels dealing with corrupt people. That's a waste of my energy. Shout out to Ashley M for the brain break. Shout out to Crystal Imani. Shout out to Disco Kitchen. Shout out to Trucking with Tierra. She be on the road, y'all. Sonia. Shakla Guru here to support and show love, but more than anything to stretch my brain. We love that. We got Erica Miller dropping some tens on us. We got Love My Life. We got Amelie. We have Adrina Garcia. Hamid always with the Seal Squad. Thunderleo, show me love. We got Jazz R. We got Zanisha Angel Edmonds. And we got Unfiltered Womanhood said, I said to you months ago that God was removing people who only have a financial interest. I'm glad to see you doing your own thing now. Thank you, Unfiltered Womanhood, and thank you for dropping 20 on us. Vanessa M, thank you as well. Those are all of our supers for today. Remember, if you still want to give, it's not too late to give a super. You can also hit us with a cash app, baby. I'll be here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, with more of the views from AmandaLand. Your news and views from, I don't know why I can't forget my own. I always forget my own slogan. News and views by any joke necessary. I always forget my own slogan, but I don't know why that is. It's time for us to get into our 30 seconds of stillness, because, you know, and I want y'all to be doing this on your own time as well. Like, just take a 30 seconds of stillness. Like, just do it. Okay. Just take a 30 seconds of stillness. Let's get into it. Where is it?
30 seconds of stillness.
I enjoyed laughing and learning with you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Also, listen to the podcast. It's available everywhere pods are casted. Listen ad-free by subscribing to Patreon Amanda Seals. Come on and join the Seal Squad. Views from AmandaLand. Live 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Wednesday, with content on Thursday and Friday at YouTube Amanda Seals TV.